everyone, welcome to another Something Bad Thursday. I apologize that I haven't been able to upload videos lately. My computer has broken down, so I'm going to have to be getting a new one soon. So for now, I'm going to try to be using my brother's computer so I can catch up with all the videos that need to be uploaded. So without further ado, let me discuss what I wanted to discuss briefly for this Something Bad Thursday. Movies with tons of celebrities. Yes. For some reason, I think what ends up happening is that a lot of the times is that when you get a ton of celebrities or a ton of people that that are really well known and have a lot of recognition throughout the Hollywood community, when you bring all those people together, usually it doesn't really end all that well. I've really noticed that a lot of films that do try to encapsulate a lot of different celebrities and put them into one film have oftentimes failed to produce a good story. And I think there is some reasonings behind this. Again, because since they have a lot of actors under their belt, they feel like they don't need to really try to get people to watch the film. Why? Because everybody knows these people. Everybody has an understanding of who these people are, and so they think, oh, Brad Pitt's a good actor. Oh, so-and-so is a good actor. I've heard of this person. I'm going to go see this movie now because there's a ton of people that I'm familiar with and I've seen their past work, and therefore this film must also be good. And I think that's the whole marketing strategy behind a lot of these films that do try to cram in as many celebrities as possible, is that they figure, oh, somebody is bound to come see it because look at all of the people we managed to get behind this film that are really well known and have been really well recognized. So it really revolves around that, I think. And that's really a huge problem because what you end up getting is not really as good of a product, because a lot of the time it's more about the marketing and not so much about the story. And that's a really huge issue, and I think that's why a lot of these these films that have tons of celebrities crammed into them don't end up doing that well critically, because they don't focus on the quality of the story. They focus more on the marketing aspect and what's going to get people invested and become invested in this film, and they really try to showcase the fact that there's all these different actors as opposed to showcasing the story or anything. So that's the whole idea, is you put their name out there, and hence they will sell it. You know, they'll patent it, they'll package it, and then they'll sell you because they have all of these big names up on top of the screen. And what ends up happening is a lot of the times these films that probably require a lot of celebrities to at least have a decent paycheck, it ends up being a huge waste of money because the quality isn't there. And that's why I think we get a lot of these films that you wonder why, what was the point of that? And I think a lot of that has to do with, again, they can waste an excessive amount of money making this film because they think that it'll be a return on investment. And see, that's the whole idea, is can this be a return on investment? And usually, I think when people cast famous people that everyone is fairly familiar with, usually people, I think, will automatically think that this will be a good product. And they are capable of wasting all of that money. But I think people are starting to see behind the gimmick. They're starting to see that doing these kinds of films doesn't amount ultimately to much. And I think that people are starting to realize as to how much of a waste of money these films are, especially to make a film that really doesn't have anything going for it to start off with except tons of big names. So that's, I think, a huge problem. The waste of money that is attributed to these films is, I think, really just crazy, and could be utilized way more effectively. So again, that huge money issue, I think, is definitely something that I'm bothered by, and I think definitely is something that Hollywood could consider, because I think people are suddenly waking up and not buying into the whole idea of cramming in tons of celebrities. And the interesting thing too is what I kind of don't understand is why actors would take these kinds of roles if they see like how damaging it could be to their career. Like, I don't see why they would. I don't know if it's just because they consider it like a fun project, you know, something that they can just show up and not really take as seriously, or if there's maybe multiple reasons. But really, this I think really affects actors' reputations, because if you go in to see a film and it's not up to the quality standards, at least for the average moviegoer, then I think that says something upon the actors. And I think people are going to be really turned off by the idea of actors going out there and trying to make cheap money. Because, again, the actors already make a lot of money. Directors make a lot of money. So I think the whole idea of the reputation is really something that's, I think, monumental. And I think we're slowly starting to see this emerge, I think, with people sort of not betting their bets on an actor. I think more people are more focused again on the story or spectacle. But I think this does have an impact on an actor's reputation and onto what they will produce later on. And again, I understand that sometimes actors, they'll get involved in something and it looks like a promising project, but then things change and, you know, it ends up being a much more mediocre product, but then they've already signed off on it. And, you know, I know that there's all these other issues that come into play, but I think it really does impact an actor's reputation if they decide to go into a movie that really has nothing going for it and really wouldn't showcase their talent. And it's probably, I think, partially because, again, it is that cheap money gimmick, and it's also because that they don't need to fully get absorbed in being actors and actresses. They can just focus on just having fun and having a good time. And yes, I understand that that's, you know, having that element in there is important. But to be honest, I think actors should focus on what they're good at and not just pick a role just because, oh, I can. And I think it really does affect the actor or actress's reputation, because they'll go, wait, how can I trust that she's going to be in this good film? Or how can I trust whether or not this is going to be a good film? And again, directors, I think, sort of have this impact too. One reason why After Earth bombed so much is that the association with M. Night Shyamalan, and I think this can have the same effect on actors. If actors start picking numerous roles that really don't showcase their talent or anything, I think that's when we'll see the face sort of diminish, and people won't remember the actor or actress. So again, it's kind of those things that I think really do impact the fact that a lot of these movies that do have tons of celebrities in them don't end up being good. And I think that's really something that ends up creating a real negative impact on actors and actresses too. So it's, again, it has that effect, and unfortunately sometimes You know, it really just all depends, I think, and sometimes, you know, even older actors who aren't at the top of their game anymore, you know, they have to take a little bit more mediocre projects, and, you know, it's understandable, but I think a lot of it, again, has to just do with the fact that the movie makers want to make money, but at the same time, they do it at the detriment of the actors, and they do it as a time killer and a money waster. So it's unfortunate, but that's just kind of how the world works, at least when it comes to these kinds of projects. But I just would say that a lot of them have not turned out as promising, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we choose to market just a film based upon names and faces and not upon content. So I think that's really something that really puts movies at a disadvantage when they do that. But again, it's all based upon whether or not you enjoy having tons of actors and actresses in a movie, or if that really matters to you. And I don't really know if it really matters to anybody. But that's, I think, kind of people's understanding. But ultimately, I think that's really all I can say about this concept. It's pretty straightforward, but at the same time, I still think that this is something that's just kind of makes me cringe, and I just think it's just such a bad formula and message to send out to people, to just throw in all of these celebrities in there and then expect something good. It just doesn't really work that way, and it doesn't work, at least I think, really effectively all that well, and hence I think we get a lot of mediocrity out of it. But that's just my opinion, but I'm more than happy to hear what anybody else has to say. But thank you again so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, week, month, and year. And I will try to do the last video, which will catch me up 2 Fridays right after this one. Alrighty, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.